Okay, and welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Field of Glory Empires in the Persia DLC as Sparta. And I think we have a viable Sparta start here. We have the state. We have a province made in Graecia, and we have a province in Ypres. Even though technically the province in Ypres doesn't, or will have a province in Ypres, even though the province in Ypres does not have Ypres. Because that happens. We are currently at war with Athens, and I think well, actually no, we're at war with a couple people other than Athens. But the rest of them we can probably ignore. We're at war with the Bruttian over here. We're at war with the Callippus over here. And we're with Athens. So we're at war with 3 people. Honestly, Athens is really the only one that's vaguely scary the people we're at war with. And then honestly, they're not even that scary these days. Their army has been crippled from multiple engagements. The biggest, scariest thing about them is they've got a fleet. Let's be fair, that's the scary thing about them is they got boats. Which kind of prevents us from actually getting a good, clean kill on them. Though, we'll see. We'll see how things evolve over the next couple turns. We're gonna go lay siege to their capital. I want to build up the economy. I want to build up the food. I want to build up all the things. So we're gonna have an interesting couple turns. Oh. Apparently the Athenians do have an army, and they've gone ahead and taken that place over there. Honestly, you know, if the Athenians are gonna want that spot, they can have that spot for the moment. It's a little annoying because that means they're gonna stop me from having a state over there, or a provincing over there. And making that place a province is probably more valuable in decadence reduction than a state cost, or than a territory cost, but we're just gonna have to deal with it. Where was it on the progress? No, wrong button. That button. Middle of the road. We'd like to get up like 16, 17, or 15, 16, but fine where we are. Could use a little bit more money. We'll slow the construction down a little bit more to get the money coming in a little faster. Because we do want to be money positive. You're under siege, but that's fine. You finish your road next turn. Finish the slave market next turn. That'll be done next turn. Okay. The unrest should go away, given enough time. We've gone ahead and put Athens under siege. Athens under the current state is probably not gonna fall. I'm not even really gonna starve. It's kind of the annoyance here. Federate some barbarians, but we're not going to. Thinking about it, okay, so they're not level 1 anymore, or we can't do it on them anyway. No pulse recalling, yes. I don't think they're tier 1 anymore. They probably tiered up to tier 2 if I were to guess. They're big enough to have done it. Kingdom? I think they've gone up to tier 2. Hard to tell. I think Macedonia starts in tier 1, but a lot of those things that would require tier 1 aren't going off, or can't be going off for whatever reason. We'll just lay siege to Athens, I think, right now. Well, actually, is that is the Athenian Navy? Okay. Be a little bit of a risk, but we'll take the risk, which is to cross over to their other territory. It doesn't have a wall, so we can just take it by surprise with our field troops. So this is recruit locals. We did manage to get across without running into the navy. So there's only the poor urban militia, which aren't going to hold up to Spartan hoplites. They may be stuck on the island here for a little bit while we wait for the Athenian Navy to go away. don't want the wall. We don't really need the manpower, so we can skip the harbor. We don't need it for loyalty. We don't have marble there yet. Don't need the coal. I don't think we're ready to make the dash up to 3 health buildings, or to tier 3 health buildings, so we'll not do public baths. And that's arguably not the one I'd want him to be doing anyway. Probably would want to do like Aqueduct or Aqueduct Fishing House, Salt House are the 3 that we probably want to do, and so it's none of the 3 that are we want. We don't need more flags, so reroll, do the shuffle. We're earning a lot more money that we've taken Bonia here. If memory serves, Abernia is in fact in the territory. Okay. So we could just go crank this full production, get the construction going decently. Could back off a little bit on the money, but I think we're not going to bother right now. Do I want to build a fleet? The Athenian fleet is a little on the small side. On the other hand, oh no, actually it is all light warship, so if we got a decent boat batch going, we could probably face the Athenians mono a mono. So 8 would be parity. We'd really want to go up to 10. So we at least have a flanker on each side. I think we'll hold off a couple of turns. Because at least I would want to build enough to build 10, and we'd then want enough money hanging around to win. Or to actually fund the fleet for a bit. Take public works here. Here we're doing the reroll because we're looking for either 0 slots or stables. Okay. So next turn we probably have the money to build the fleet. I want at least a 10 big fleet. And then we'll have to raise the funds, or raise the income a little bit the following turn to pay for their upkeep. So it looks like the Athenian Navy moved out of our way. So we can probably jump back across to Athens, or we can get back. Proposing a trade deal. What trade deal are you proposing? I give you manpower, or you give me manpower, I give you money. No, I'll do a counter proposal. I don't want to give you money. We'll give you metal. No, I can't give you enough metal anyway. Never mind. Cooperation? Degree cooperation? Sure. Yeah, so they're not blocking the strait. They're... looks like their fleet shrink. Let's jump across the strait, but hopefully before they can jump out. I've got the money to build the fleet. So we'll build a 10 large fleet. And then I need to increase the income, because each of those is costing 4 keep, right? Yeah. Oh, I don't even have the manpower to keep that. Yeah, we'll hold off on doing that. I don't have the manpower to keep that. Public Works is a decent choice. We'll take that. We are going to want to build things like training grounds whenever we get the opportunity. Okay, that works. Let's probably reroll here. We will take the testing grounds, the training grounds. Okay. So we'll be back across to Athens on the next turn, and then we'll go probably chasing after the Athenian army. Okay, so they're storming the fort. They're probably just going to take it. That's fine. Okay, we got across to Athens, so the Navy is no longer going to be able to block us. We will be able to chase down the Athenian army and then retake our fort pretty quickly. If I feel that is the best course of action. How's the siege progress over to sit here? Not worth sitting here. Okay. We'll order a attack on the Athenian army. So assuming they don't move out of the territory, they don't move too far either way. We should immediately win. That's looking fine. We're earning a little bit of money. It's a little bit of a shame that we went ahead and lost that territory, but it's fine. Apparently at the moment it isn't making any money, so... as long as they don't pick like a weird building choice, we're fine. Training ground, or... yeah, training grounds. It's not a bad choice. Not a bad roll. The 2-1 died, okay. We don't want disorganized. Well, we're only gonna have 1 on attack, so the question is, do I want a siege expert or a 2 defense? We'll go the siege expert. There we go. This is a battle we should probably win. A little bit of exhaustion, which is throwing a little bit of our minimum roll. Ooh, maybe not. Okay, that was closer than I wanted. It's not quite as productive a win as I'd hoped for. But we're able to send the Athenians running back to Athens. And we can quickly siege down our own place again. Not the worst choice to get another slave market. Again, we're going to kind of get lots of slave markets. The Greek area is kind of where I want all the slaves to drop. Amphitheater. No place to import the silk from, so we're going to pass up on that. We did want theater, because I think it's one of the Greek buildings I want. The Odon. The Odon here requires us to have a theater. But upgrading to amphitheater, which would still count as a theater for Odin, is not a priority job. Major harbor is a 0 slot, would give us access to bigger boats. I'm on board with a little bit bigger boats. Especially because we think the Athenians are rocking the light variety. So we can probably do mono-a-mono with medium boats in a fight. Add 2. Emily, okay, that's good. You'll be done with the training ground next turn. Okay. Siege to retake the place will be quick, so we're not gonna storm the fort yet. We're gonna give our guys a little bit of time to recover. Because they did take a little bit of damage in that last fight, even though we didn't lose any of them. Still in that middle tier. Still in the middle of the middle tier, so not too bad. Okay, we got a good roll, so there is literally 1 guy left in the fort. We'll order an assault. It probably won't be necessary. They will probably surrender before the assault goes in. Some open building slots. Here, for example. Get 12 more money from bonus olive oil. No, we'll go with that because that's a decent choice. We got 5 builds over here. This is actually, because of how it's built up, this is a wannabe farm place. Want to get irrigation system here? Irrigation system into canal system. Canal system will provide us papyrus, and then we can get really going on some of the buildings. But we'll sort of re-roll into that. Is what we'll do. Okay, that's you. Sure, grab an anchorage here. 0 slots are nice. That's not the military building I want. The military building I want eventually, but not right now. Interesting that it's minus 15. Apparently we're out of trade range to Sparta, because Sparta has iron. 2, 3. Because we're being blockaded. That's why. Wouldn't be out of trade range if the blockade wasn't there, but we are blockaded, so... we're not losing money right now? We are. Okay. Probably due to the blockade. Okay, that balances the budget. Retake our place. Do I want to build up a fleet? It's going to have to be a pretty big fleet. This is a 11-size fleet to go mono to mono with the light ships, so we might want to hold off until we get the medium-sized ones. Okay, we retook our fort, and as I suggested, assault was unnecessary. We now got a poor administrator and a poor military leader. Okay. Move you back to laying siege to Athens. Might be able to try to doing some diplomacy in Athens. So 71% chance they'd accept something. Give me that region. And return mine. 33% chance. Honestly, we probably want Atticus, but it's going to be a while before we can ask for it, so we'll offer that compromise. Eboia? Irrigation system, yes. A little bit food backsliding, but the papyrus is a strong get. There's the Athenians again. Okay. Oh, Athenia. Win some, you lose some. Here, that's actually... That's not too bad, because that's actually making us economically better off. How long does the peace last here? We got one more turn on this piece. So, siege will last a long time, so it's not worth sitting here trying to siege it. Let's try to do that maneuver. We'll go and retake this place. And then we may try to declare on the Boeotians on the way back once we lose the military access. If we can try to sneak it from underneath the Macedonians, we'll definitely do that. Public works. Tempted to go with that defensive building, given the fact that we're in like perpetual war right now, but we'll skip for the moment. Lost objective, so we lost a progress token. We'll probably get it back, so it's not too much of an issue. Whoop. Does that stop our move? did stop her move. Okay. Because we didn't have military access to the Macedonians. Not ready to go fight the Macedonians, because we're with Athens. Hmm. Yeah, I need to send the Athenian Navy to the bottom. We're just gonna have to risk running a pretty heavy deficit to do it. Athens rejected our offer, which makes sense because, you know, arguably they're winning right now. No, I'm not giving stuff to Athens. We're winning the land war, they're winning the navy war, and so I need to send the navy to the bottom. That's just what we're gonna do. And that shouldn't be too hard to do. Just need to, you know, do it. Okay. Balancing the budget on the next turn is going to be a task. Okay, there's the Athenian army. Oh, the Athenians sallied. Interesting. Okay, they sallied in a way that didn't make them immediately lose their capital. It's fine by me. Interestingly enough, my fleet spawned in 2 spots. I was hoping it would spawn all together. Okay, so Athens just surrendered to the Persians. This is annoying whenever this happens, but I've had it happen before. Where is your port? I think it's on the sinus here. Yeah. I think you're in... Are you in port? No, you're not. Okay, send our fleet after that fleet. 6v4, we should win. Okay, so this is going to be a pain, because now I need to negotiate with Persia, and Persia's not going to be willing to negotiate. They're unlikely to come across the Aegean, but doesn't necessarily make it easy for us. Put you as a garrison defender. Send the fleet out. I do want to merge the 2 fleets. 6v4, we should win. Do I keep the siege up? I think the answer right now is no. We bend the siege. Go jump the Athenian army. No, 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 no. Definitely don't go by sea. Not until we've wrested sea control away from the Athenians. We're not sure we have. Like, I think we have, but we're not sure we have. Okay, I think that'll be fine. Hopefully they won't storm us. It's only level 1 fort, so they might. Okay, our fleet engages their fleet. 6v2. Okay. Lost the general, lost a third of the fleet, but the Athenian fleet is at the bottom, and that's what we wanted. Whoops. Got to account for the expenditure over the turn. May not have actually been a problem. We'll have to see if we were negative before the end turn there. We're definitely going to be negative if we don't do something. Fix that. Okay, that will work. That's not ideal, but that'll work. Iron Mine provides metal. That might be one way to go about doing it. Or we can do Furnace. We'll do the Iron Mine. Because if we get something to sell, we're going to be better off that way. Okay, we're going to order the fleets to merge. We're going to order you to... Actually, no. I'm going to order you to merge with him. Him to go there. Okay, I think that's going to work the way I want it to. That'll put Athens under siege. We'll have a large enough fleet. I think the situation will be okay. Can I negotiate peace? 79% chance for what is basically white peace. Sure. Same with you. Can I negotiate peace? 100% chance for white peace. And then we can just focus on Athens and Persia. Persia shouldn't be an issue, because they've only recently had coastline over here, so I doubt they have a fleet, and, well, it's a bit suicidal to do naval advances against a guy that actually has a fleet. Okay. We sent the other Athenian fleet to the bottom, the cost of 2 more ships. That is functional destruction in the Athenian army. We're in the progressing tier. Good to see. We actually probably have enough territories now. We could get up into Tier 3, and we'd like to be in Tier 3. Okay, push the fleet over here. Push the army across the strait. Money is positive. We could probably slide a little bit off of money, actually. And that's definitely something we want to do in the long run. But let's not do that right away. We want to save up a little bit of money for emergencies. Three progress tokens, okay. I probably don't have enough time. 6 turns. Yeah, that's maybe a little bit of an ask. Finish the war against Athens, and then declare Macedonia in 6 turns might be a little quick. That's a large Athenian army. In a draw, okay, we can accept a draw. Oof, lost a hoplite. Battle ended in a draw again. They lost their general, so we'll probably win the follow-up one. Lost our cav. I'm wrong, I did not win the follow-up one. They lost another general. How did they replace the general so quickly, I question. Okay, well, that was a state of affairs. Well, now we're making a lot of money. Most of our provinces are small enough we're probably better off freeing them rather than improving slaves' rights. Two turns to get across there. Jumping the strait is just one. I'm not sure if I'm in a state where I can beat the battered Athenian army, to be fair. Yeah, I'm gonna take the risk that we're gonna go across to that one. I want to stay on the move because we've got stuff we need to do, military-wise. Oh, slave market? And we are going to save up a little bit of money. We'll put this guy on. Sure. And we want to get up to... And we don't even have the decision here. We want to get up to enough money that we can redistribute slaves if we can. So I think it's 500. We need 500 money. Monster precious iron. It's 300 metal. We're not there yet. We're definitely increasing the production with things like the furnace. So the mine, furnace in the mine will help. Okay. The Athenian army is kind of stuck where it is at the moment, so we'll take the slow road and take the other objectives first. Come back to it. Culture money. I think culture. I want to get in that progressing tier quick. Everything else is fine there. Oh, that was the slave turning into a freeman. That's why he was on food previously. Or it looked like it was on food previously. Okay. Take you next turn. We are recovering as long as we're not in battle, but they'll probably win that battle. So let's end the turn. Okay, we won that battle. Okay, and they won that battle. Interesting. Just immediately marched in with an assault. That wasn't the smartest move for them, but they did it. How many men do we need to actually do that? 500. Yeah, we're not doing that anytime soon. So it's 2 turns to get over there. It's 2 to get over there. That one is now walled. So we're not going to go over there. I think we're going to go over to one of these. You want to just take the actually, let's move back to ours. It'll be 2 turns. As much as I want to grab more Spartan hoplites, we're gonna resist the urge. They're expensive, and I need to save up money, so I can actually do decisions on the regular. Everything else is going fine. We retook you. Saltworks works there. That works, yeah. Make you so you aren't starving. Build the saltworks faster. There we go. And, of course, it looks like they're walling my places up, which I'm not appreciative of. I want my places unwalled so I can use the Spartan building that... Yeah, I'm not appreciative they're building palisades. Because you can't delete palisades, is my understanding. Right, we can't come in here and say, "Hey, I want to delete this," because it's not allowed to be disassembled. Okay, well, I think we're... If I'm patient, we're gonna win. It's just annoying. The Athenians are being annoying. And we basically have to fully annex the Athenians at this point, because otherwise it's negotiating with Persia, which is not worth doing. Okay, we're over 500 now. I don't have the decision that's related to it, but we want to stay over 500. As we save up more, we'll start queuing up some more Spartans. The Navy versus ours is 6v3. Oh, those are actual profitable medium ships. We still managed to send the bottom using light ships, but it was definitely a lot riskier than it was before. And apparently that counted as a draw. And there's the Persian Navy? Yeah, that's the Persian Navy. Oh, and the Persian Army. Okay, that's fair. So we won that battle because that's the Persian Army. There was a couple naval boats in there, but mostly Army. We failed the mission, obviously. Earning money. Good enough, I can definitely afford another Spartan hoplite, so let's recruit one. Just one. Still want to keep that money production high so we can keep looking out more hoplites if we can. Still should be in a state where we can just go march on the next one. Now that the army has been... Well, now the army has snuck across the strait and is in that location. And of course we don't have... I haven't figured out how to build a stable yet. Okay, there is the Persian army. Landed ashore. Next to one of our stronger forts, which shouldn't be an immediate issue. I say, and then realize it may actually be an immediate issue. Put a decent defensive general in there to stop him from at least taking it by storm. Of course, we've got the Spartan hoplite in here. Might as well merge the Spartan hoplite into the garrison army for the moment. siege will be quick. But the question is, can I be patient enough for it to be quick? Spend 50 on Art of the Siege there. Our Navy's not big enough to do naval support. I'm going to take the risk to order in the assault and try to get it done quicker, so we can free up our army to move elsewhere. Really? Rebels? We'll give you a general. Hopefully you can win against the rebels. I suspect the answer will be no. Range phase, and then we got higher minimum rolls. So nice, violent take of the fort. Okay, we beat the rebels. It's good. And you moved your army into my navy. Okay. Asking to watch some of your boats go to the bottom. And there goes the Persian army sailing off into the sunset. That kind of works for me. Okay, we're gonna cross-engage the Athenian field army. I'm in a state where I'm gonna go ahead and grab another Spartan hoplite. Is that a... Yes, that is a Persian fleet. With real... Of course I can't... Well, I could probably afford more boats, but we're gonna go run for port. They shouldn't get into position to stop our crossing. Of course, I pulled my fleet out of the way so the Athenians get to sea, where they can cause more mischief. Okay, if they try to stay out at sea, we'll get them. Come to land, we'll have to deal with wherever they come to land. If we had gold, silver, copper, that'd be really good. Right now it's pretty bad. Armor. This is Atolia. Yeah, brickworks. Some more infrastructure going. Monument. Monument. Not bad choices, and we're plausibly just going to lose them to the Athenians anyway. How goes the state of the war versus Persia from Persia's perspective? Persia is actually willing to negotiate with us. Seize Boya to us. Or cede Boya to us. Could we also take Atticus? I think the answer is going to be no. That's something we could pose, however. Athens would still have... Athens would still exist. That's fine. We'll propose that. They're going to say no to that. They're almost certainly going to say no to that. But I'll propose it. Okay, here is a good place, I think, to put a part break. Things are not going according to plan. Things are working. We'd be much better off if we had some, you know, cavalry. Or if we had a navy that wasn't completely paranoid about its own existence. But for the moment, everything else is pretty stable. We're not quite wealthy enough. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to get back up to 6 Spartan hoplites. Actually, we're back up to 6 Spartan hoplites. So I've got the army I want. I might want to try to build the navy up a little bit more over the next couple turns. Being a little bit more aggressive on the money front, because it's the fact that there's so much we're not able to interact with because we haven't had money sitting around is a bit of a bore. I don't think Persia is going to give us what we want, but they're now in the place where we can offer, which that's a big difference, right? That means if we just attrit them down, we might actually be able to win this. And we don't necessarily want Athens dead. We just don't want to be at war with Athens. And at this point, I've been fighting Athens enough, I kind of want something out of it. I want to be a little bit greedy, and I want to take some stuff from Athens. A little bit bonus points if it is Athens, for example, right? We like Athens. Yeah, if we take the Grecian territories, that'll set us up potentially well for a war with Macedonia while we're at peace with Persia. And then we'll be at a decent state for going to war with Persia. To be fair, Persia is probably at war with a bunch of people. At war with us, at war with Scythia, at war with Egypt. So they're at war on 3 fronts. And Athens is their client state. Why Athens? To be fair, Athens in some arguments was winning the war. Why they just decided to become a client state of Persia? I shrugged. Don't know why, but they did. They do it all the time. This is the problem I have always playing Persia, or playing Sparta, is Athens just randomly goes and becomes a protectorate of Persia. But yeah, this is where we're going to put the part break in. If you're watching on YouTube, there will be a part up tomorrow, because I'm going to record one more part tonight. If you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. I'm going to mute the mic during a short break between parts, so I can quickly take a walk around the room, just to let it kink out of my legs, that sort of stuff. So, until the next part, wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.